Hello YouTube, Jonathan Kelly here. In this video, I just wanted to discuss a project or undertaking that I wanted to really work on this year in 2023 as one of my New Year's resolutions. I don't know if you consider it ambitious or even crazy, but what I essentially set out to do is to learn to read and play viola musical literature on an alto horn, also known as the tenor horn in the UK. But I guess before I go into detail about the project, I just wanted to talk about the history of me and brass instrument playing as opposed to guitar playing, and give a good look at the particular model alto horn that I'm using. So, before I played guitar, my primary instrument for a good while was euphonium. But before I played the euphonium, I played the trumpet. I played trumpet for maybe like 1-2 years, and then I switched to euphonium because I just wanted to play a lower pitched instrument. But the trumpet and the euphonium that I owned are no longer with me. It was, funnily enough, in 2016 on a whim that I decided to get the alto horn and try to play with it a bit. Though between 2016 and now, I only played the alto horn that I currently have just a couple of times. So yeah, I guess I'll just give you guys a look at the particular alto horn that I'm playing right now. So what this is, it is an H.N. White King alto horn. From the serial number, I think it was made anywhere between the 20s to the 30s. So, roaring 20s to the onset of the Great Depression, or the Prohibition era. What's interesting about this instrument is, I noticed this also with the vintage Besson euphonium that I sort of played with before I got my own euphonium, is that if you look at the finish, I'm pretty sure, especially here, that it was a satin silver plate. But as over the years, especially on this part of the tubing, that eventually sort of became more glossy. The same phenomenon tends to happen with guitar necks that have a satin lacquer finish, usually Fenders. But yeah, and another interesting thing about alto horns is that on the trumpet, I could never play a high B flat or C if you're, transposing to the way trumpet reads music. I could on the euphonium, but only occasionally. But on the alto horn, I feel like the size of the mouthpiece is just right for my lips, and it's actually relatively easy compared to the other two instruments to reach a high, well, in the case of the alto horn, a high E flat. But that's enough of that. I'll talk to you guys about the project I'm undertaking. So, I already know how to read music with both the trumpet and the euphonium and the alto horn transposing, because the fingerings for all three instruments are exactly the same, matching the targeted transposed notes that they play. Though, because the alto horn is in E flat and the trumpet and the euphonium are in B flat, the actual notes being sounded are different, even though they read the same for the identical fingerings. Now, the crazy project that I'm doing is that I'm trying to learn to read music for the alto horn, non-transposing in alto clef and in treble clef. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm aiming to play the alto horn on viola musical literature. The first piece I want to learn is Telemann's Concerto in G minor for viola. Now, I think this is doable. Well, this particular piece is doable because the very highest note that that piece calls for on the viola is a high G, which is the highest note here transposing to E. Alto horn reads a major 6 lower than is written, so a high E here would actually be a high G right on top of the top line of the staff before any ledger lines. And I've played this particular note several times, so I know that it's at least doable. So yeah, that's the crazy project that I'm going to undertake in this new year. Bye.